Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
This election inching closer than you might realize. We are just 2 hours away from wrapping up day 7 of early voting here in Bexar County.
That means after today, 11 days left for early voting and just 15 days until Election Day. But with the pandemic going on, what happens if you get COVID-19 before you can cast a ballot?
Garrett Berger went looking for answers. He joined us live now from Lions Field. Garrett, what did you find out and what are you seeing out there?
Well, what we're seeing is, again, a turnout for the early voting. A lot of people lined up again, as they have been for the past 6 days or so. Now, we reached out to the Secretary of State's office trying to figure out what you can do if you have a COVID infection before you're able to cast your ballot. Fortunately, a spokesman not able to give us anything on the record, but we do know from Bexar County officials that they do not want you at the polls in person if you are sick with COVID. That includes using drive-through options. So what can you do? We spoke with another group, the Texas Civil Rights Project, which recommends people who are sick right now get a mail-in ballot. Those are available to people who are sick or disabled, and the deadline to get your application in is this Friday, the 23rd. If you get sick after that point, you could still apply for an emergency ballot, but that requires a form of the physician's signature, something the Civil Rights Project is trying to fight in the courts right now.
It doesn't make any sense to treat people after that 23rd cutoff differently than folks before. And by the way, that doubly doesn't make sense during a pandemic when, quite frankly, our healthcare providers are very, very busy.
And in any case, you can't get your application in for that emergency ballot until all the early voting options in person are exhausted. So that wouldn't be until October 31st. And you'd need someone to act as your representative to both submit the application for the emergency ballot and to drop the completed ballot off. That would be due back by the time the polls close on November 3rd. Now, many people appear to be trying to get their votes in ahead of time, ahead of any complications from COVID-19. We've seen a record number of mail-in ballots coming in. And while there are more than 200,000 people who have cast ballots in person, that's not a record-breaking number as of yet, though the elections administrator is expecting a pretty high number considering the fact that we do have an extended early voting period this year. Live at Lions Field, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. On your screen right now, the list of the busiest and slowest polling sites in Bexar County. The top 3 busiest sites, the AT&T Center with more than 10,000 total votes, although I'm told there's not really a line there. John Igo Library, 8,400 votes so far. Shrine Auditorium with 7,600. Those are the most busy sites.
And then on the flip side of that, as for the slowest polling sites, those top 3 are Somerset City Hall, 1,600 votes since early voting began. The Southside ISD Administration Building with just over 2,000, and Frank Garrett Multi-Service Center with roughly 2,100.
Now remember, we have the full list of polling sites on our website along with the rest of our election coverage. Just head to ksat.com/vote.